Welcome to Toffee TV. It is my three talking points. Everton 1, Arsenal 1 at Goodison Park this afternoon. It's 2 defeats in 12 for David Moyes since taking over from Sean Dyche. Everton edging safe, closer to safe. I mean, edging further up the table. Let's leave it at that. Playing Arsenal today, Everton have faced the top two in the last 3 days and have given a decent account of themselves, while also highlighting, I guess, the deficiencies and where we need to improve the squad. Certainly the final third in wide areas is a real issue for us, and a bit more quality. And also, for me, it is a central midfield player who can put his foot on the ball and be comfortable in possession. We're too quick to move the ball, on, rather than get hold of it and just assess what's going on. We've seen Arsenal today. And again, Arsenal haven't been great this season. They've been really strong, but they haven't been as good as what they have been in previous seasons. And Odegaard not playing probably, is a big example of that today. But even so, all comfortable on the ball, all want the ball, but take it under pressure, will keep it. And that's the level you've got to try to get to. And Everton have all the endeavour and all the hard work, but don't have that extra little bit of quality. But you know what? We went behind. And we've hung on in there and we've got ourselves a point. Iliman and Ndiaye penalty has saved us. But Everton, I think Everton probably deserved the point. Arsenal have played much better than that and put us under way more pressure than that in the past at games. And we've won certain games or whatever. Or when you come out, you're like, we were really lucky there. Jordan Pickford has come up big a couple of times today for us. More on him in a minute, but Everton have ground out a good point there, and we sort of move on. It was important we got something, I think, after losing the derby the other night. And now people will point to sort of like 6 games without a win, say whatever, 5 of them have been draws, but we sort of knew where this squad is. When David Moyes come in, it was way better than it was performing. But we still missing chances. Not so much today. We didn't really miss good opportunities today, but we have done in so many of our games, particularly even the derby the other night. We hit a post. We have one ruled offside by a millimetre or so. And in other games, we've wasted great opportunities, which would have got us more wins. But I think what David Moyes has done is he's put the resilience in the side. We're also far better. Again, not talking necessarily about today, just overall we're much better than what we were. We look more dangerous than what we were. But when you're playing against top sides like Liverpool and Arsenal, it does highlight that you need more quality to hurt them, and ours, like I just said, our players will work and run everywhere for you and work really hard, but we do lack that bit of quality at the top end of the pitch, and that's it hampering us, I think, a little bit at the moment, albeit it was really good to see Ndiaye back today as well. But yeah, we end up getting a 1-1 draw. Like I say, 2 defeats in 12 now, edging, closer to David Moyes' 40 points, what he wanted to achieve, 5 to go where that's concerned. And got to try to put another little run together now. And certainly at Goodison, it'd be nice to finish the season at Goodison unbeaten, wouldn't it? Man City next, there'll be another tough game at home. And then obviously Ipswich and Southampton, which, my opinion, should be 2 straightforward victories for Everton. And we'll see where sort of that takes us. But yeah, 1-1. And you take it and move on. First thing I'm going to talk about Jordan Pickford. I just mentioned him there. I should have mentioned him really in my match reaction, because his save he made in the second half was an absolute brilliant one. I think it was Martinelli went on a great run and cut in, and it's going in the top corner, and Pickford gets good hands on it and pushes it away. He made an absolutely brilliant save before that, which again, the referee, mad decision. There's a blatant foul. I think it's Branthwaite who's dragged down to the floor, and the referee still allows, I think it's Trossard, is it, to get a shot away, and Pickford makes an absolutely brilliant save. Then the referee blows his whistle and Everton get the free kick, and I think had he not blown it, then I might have been given Jordan man of the match for that. But I think in general he's been in really good form of late. I think the other night, he's guessed the other night, hasn't he? And even I was looking at it the other night and thinking, why is he sort of left the middle of the goal sort of open. But he's just done that thing where he tried to second guess what Jota was going to do. But other than that, he's been in excellent form and he's been brilliant for us, hasn't he? And today, again, you know, big in the first half, big in the second half. Come and try to get as much as he could off corners, getting fists on it and things like that. Although he did have a really weird miss kick after about 5 minutes, which could have been very embarrassing, or even less than 5 minutes. But I think of late, and in general over the last few years, he's been excellent. So big moment today with that save, and obviously the other save, which was brilliant. Sadly, won't probably get talked about. Well, it won't, because it was a foul, but it was still an absolutely brilliant save. So well done, Jordan Pickford. I think second thing I want to talk about is Iliman and Ndiaye and the importance of having him back today. I think it's massive that he's available again. Obviously, he's been sort of like the shining light as a new player coming into the side. Idrissa Gana Gueye's been brilliant most of the season, you know, and we've had strong performances from a couple of other players, but Ndiaye overall has been excellent, hasn't he? And Everton missed him. He obviously went off in the derby after, 25 minutes at Goodison in February, and was just on a real good run of form, then was creating things and was looking lively. And, you know, we went and he goes off and your heart sinks a little bit, because you knew that he was in good form. He was creating things. He was the one who was really carrying the threat, scoring goals as well. So it's been really important to get him back this week. He done half an hour, I think, roughly, against Liverpool on Wednesday night. He's come back today and he done, 78 minutes or something. He had cramp, didn't he? And went off. You know, he'd put a good 50-50 tackle in a few minutes earlier and made a, you know, when Arsenal were on the break, I think it was on Declan Rice, really good tackle as well. Scored the penalty. Okay, listen, has he played better? Yeah, he has. But at times he showed you what he gives. He's brave. He is someone who is brave on the ball, will take the ball in tight areas. He run at Arsenal players. Sometimes he emerged with the ball. Other times he could do it a little bit simpler. But he's the one shining light. And I thought it was really interesting to hear, again, the reporter, I think it might have been Will Rooney of Liverpool Wales, asked David Moyes about possibly putting Ndiaye in a number 10 position. And Moyes, instead of batting it off and saying there's no evidence that he can play there, even though he's played most of his career there, he said, yeah, definitely, it's something we'll look at, which is good. And really what a manager should say is, of course, we're looking at everything to get as much out of players as we can. So it'll be interesting to see whether David Moyes does get him in that position off the striker, because for all Decore's efforts and running round, he just isn't refined enough in that role. He's not going to beat players. It's not like he's great at slide rule passes. Decore's all energy and ball recoveries and making a nuisance of himself, and obviously gets the odd goal. I think Ndiaye would protect the ball a little bit more, but would also commit defenders in that central area. So it'll be interesting to see whether David Moyes does sort of use him in that. And that, like I say, it's a big, big plus to get him back. And then thirdly is, my third point was going to be the PGMOL referees and VAR and how terrible it is, and how it needs a massive upgrade, and it needs things simplifying, and it needs probably better people, not referees in the VAR room, an independent company doing it and all that. But I'll save that for another day, because I can guarantee you over the next 7 games there'll be another terrible decision that Everton don't get, and then that'll wind me up enough to do it, so I'm not going to do that. The third and final point is going to be on using the squad. And again, I was just sort of touched on it then with David Moyes when he's asked about Ndiaye in different positions. And I think it's a real big opportunity for Everton and David Moyes to look at the squad. I hope Everton don't get another set of games where, if we do get it, I hope it's from a positive perspective, like we've won the league or something mad, or we've qualified for Europe with games to go and it doesn't matter. But this is an opportunity now to start thinking ahead for next season, building players into different positions. The manager talked about it and he's done it today. Now, okay, Vitaly Mykolenko was injured today, so Nathan Patterson, which again, the previous manager, that would have just automatically been, would have been Ashley Young straight. And he said, Alec Young then, what? Would have been, I didn't even see Alec Young play. Would have been Ashley Young in at left back, but it wasn't, it was Nathan Patterson. give him, and I thought he did quite well, really. Looked a bit rusty at times, but I thought he did quite well. We've also seen Mirabouram get in the side today. I think Tim's had better performances for Everton, but it's a while since he started the Premier League game, so he got I think it was 60 odd minutes in the tank, so we'll feel the benefits of that, but it's good to have a look at him in there. We've already talked about Iliman and Ndiaye. Brozier's got another half an hour today. Be nice to see him get a goal. Want to see Chimiti given a chance. So it's an opportunity for David Moyes. Alcaraz, again, he come on and went on the left-hand side, then on the right-hand side. But again, he's just someone who I think we need to use through the middle as well. So this is a good chance for Everton players in that squad to force their way into David Moyes' thinking. And because the planning has got to start for next season. It absolutely has. And there's a lot to play for this season. Can't be petering out. Now, today was a little bit flat. I get it. But there's points to be played for. There's money to be made by finishing as high as we can. And people have got some careers to play for. So I hope, and I'm sure the manager will rotate, will move players around, will give people an opportunity. And it's up to them to absolutely grab it with both hands if they want to be here next season. And make those decisions, make the manager's mind up for them, really, rather than, and ahhing and who knows what that'll bring. Different selections, different formations, different players can ignite something extra before the season's out. We've got difficult games. We had first on Wednesday in the league. We had second in the league today. Next Saturday, we've got third in the league. Then we've got City, who may or may not be fourth in the league by the time we play them. And then we've got Chelsea, who may or may not be fifth in the league by the time we play them. They're the next few games, so a tough few weeks. But we've lost one, we drew one. We go to Forest, which will be a really tough one next week. But that's the challenge, isn't it? And then obviously we end up with Ipswich at home, who I think we should be beating. Fulham away will be a tough one, but winnable, I think. And then Southampton at home, we should absolutely be destroying. And Newcastle away will be a really tough one last day, but it's the final game of the season. So plenty to play for me. 7 games to go. We drew today. Check out the match reaction. Thank you, everybody who come up and spoke today and wished the channel well and everything else. Like, subscribe, do all that. We are edging closer and closer to that 100,000 subs. Most of all, have a fantastic weekend. See you later.